Yeah.
All right, okay, all right. I don't have gray, you know. Still 7 minutes.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
You sure they can't hear? I bet they can. Remember that one time that you said that they couldn't hear and they could?
No, there's a thing right here. It says, "Ain't
Remember
nobody
there was that
here."
time where you were like, let's listen to a trailer, and then our voices were over the trailer. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, don't say anything you'll regret then.
I don't believe you.
Or at least I know they can't see me. Because that would be embarrassing at this very moment. Excellent connection, says... I am Bobo is saying they missed us. I don't know if they can hear us. Can you guys hear us? Because if you can hear us, tell us so that we, you know. Very important that you tell us. Oops. Sorry, guys. Oh, you can hear us?
I knew it.
Oh. You're not supposed to be able to hear. This is supposed to be our live. Pre-live. All right, well. Hang on, make sure I'm decent.
I knew it. Told you.
Oh, God. This is supposed to be our start soon banner while we get ready. All right, well, you guys are just going to listen to me get ready then. Hey, everybody, what's going on? We missed you guys yesterday, dude. Oh, dude, I had such a meltdown.
Are you talking to them without video?
Yeah, well, they can hear me, so. I just don't want them to watch me set up the old TikTok way. So I did a full... Well, I'll tell you guys when I get there. Do you guys like the balancing guy? Yesterday I had a technical nightmare. Complete meltdown. And, you know, it hasn't gotten perfect either. But, all right. I guess I might as well just go live.
Yeah, you are already.
No, I mean, with my face. With my... Hang on, let me do one more thing before I do. I'll just go live with these, because otherwise it's stupid. Oh, God. You'd think, you know. Okay. And... All right, Angela. You're live. I'm live.
Is that your phone?
I'm so glad that everybody can hear us. That's the most important thing.
Dale? You don't hear that?
Oh, yeah. It is my phone. You see what I'm saying? It's just a nightmare. Stop. I thought I stopped it and didn't snooze it. You know what that is? That's my alarm to go live. Oh,
Ta-da!
wait.
It worked.
Yeah, it did. What's up, everybody? So what happened? Yeah, I have to, you know, you guys know that my audio has been going at the end of these lives. And I suspect it's just because of some technical issues that I won't get into because they're too damn boring. But it meant that I had to try something else. And so I tried to do this is a hardware solution. So I bought a Switch. And a Switch, Angela, is technical. Not a
Nintendo Switch.
No, it's not. No, I got one of them, but it's a camera switch. Yeah, it's supposed to do a damn good job, but it's a totally different animal than OBS. Like, I mean, I was not ready for it. I'm gonna go live on TikTok too. Actually, oh yeah, I'll just do that. I'll just say big loss for Baldoni. There you go. Big loss.
Big bummer for Baldoni. It's not necessarily a big loss because they just
I don't agree.
They tried something and it didn't work and then they got caught but it's like it's not like a loss.
I disagree. Completely. I couldn't disagree with you more. All right.
Are you saying it's a big loss because the judge has been very critical?
Let me go live. Let's not leave the TikTokians out. I gotta have a talk. I gotta have a one-on-one with the TikTokians.
Yeah.
What was your question?
Are you saying it's a big loss because the judge was really critical?
Yeah, we're gonna read it. So listen, you guys are so fucking awesome, and I miss you guys, man. I got so upset when I knew.
Yeah, Dale was really sad.
I was. And
they're being so adorable in the chat too. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Erica said, we missed you.
Oh, that's so great.
Guilty Angel said, you didn't do your live.
I know.
Everybody's so sweet.
It was distressing. The whole thing was distressing. It's amazing how this this live thing, it gets in you. You know what I mean? No, I missed you guys a lot. It was wild. You know, when I was standing, you knew I was just in heaps of cables and, you know, trying to get everything running again.
You've been working so hard and you're so good at this. It just took a little longer to fix than you wanted it to.
Yeah, it did. So, but here we are.
Lee on YouTube said, Dale, you predicted this.
I did. I saw it coming.
You did.
Which did I predict? Which part?
Probably the news of the day with the Baldoni.
Yes.
I'm assuming.
Well, that I predicted too. I've predicted so many things you wouldn't even believe it. Actually, it's kind of bizarre. I'm not a clairvoyant. That's not what I'm saying. But I do predict things. I can sense things, dude. I do. I can sense.
Yeah, that's true.
The way things are moving, and yeah, I do. I have a strong intuition. I rely on it heavily. I trust it. I really do, remarkably so. Probably too much so. Look at the shape I'm in. You know what I mean? I'm a struggling fool. You know.
Why would that be a result of you trusting your intuition?
Well, you know, because my intuition was to work with Leo. My intuition was to work, you know, to go to Hollywood. And, you know, and as I sit here and I think about the path I'm on, I'm really torn about whether or not it was all, you know, it was such a good idea. Now, I'm with you, and that is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. And I'll never, there's nothing I could ever wish for to have been different or to change that. I just wouldn't want to live without you. But if I didn't know about you and my life didn't go differently and it, you know, went in a totally different direction, maybe I'd feel differently about. I don't even know. I'm babbling at this point. I've lost my way.
It is really romantic to be like, all those bad things that happened to me led me to you.
That was
very sweet.
Avett brothers hit me in the fucking heart, bro. I love that. I love them. I think that Scott Avett he's every bit as good as anybody I've ever heard writing lyrics. He is fucking brilliant, and he wrote that incredible song. I believe it was him because lyrically it just sounds like him. But all my mistakes, you know, and it's about not regretting a single thing because they all led to that. I'm not gonna do this. We're gonna stop right now. We're gonna stop that shit.
I don't feel like I'm that special though. I think you would have met somebody that you liked.
Yeah, well, I'm not, you know, you don't date you, so I'm not, you know, really looking for your opinion on it.
You keep doing this with us on TikTok.
How you keep doing this? I have a question for you. What happens? I have to figure this question out again. Remember the question I had for her? What happens if I have to remember? I have a question for you, and I sure hope you don't leave before I remember it because I know you know the answer to it. I will try to get it. I'm sorry that Angela is not with us on TikTok. So some explanations. My hardware is not holding up. It's not holding mustard. So, and I can't afford like a big new PC setup right now. So I found another solution, which is using a switch by a very good company that I've worked with for videography and filmmaking. And so I just love them, and they have this really cool switch, and that's what I moved to. But it's a hardware. It's going from a software to a hardware situation, so I can like totally circumvent my computer. And so that meant that I had to rely on an outside service to get to TikTok, and TikTok is being a shit, and I don't know why, but they're being a shit, and so they're not giving me a key, and I guess it's because they flagged me for hate speech. While I was covering the Karen Reed trial.
Yeah.
And you guys know me extremely well as certainly
I still don't know what
podcaster.
What could have done it. I don't know what you could have possibly said that sounded like hate speech to them.
Yeah,
it's a mystery. Whatever, man.
Danielle is here.
You don't need the haters.
Lee is here. As you know, Erica is here. Guilty Angel is here. Delicate is here.
That's great.
She said that she had to ask Hannah because she was worried. I'm sorry. I got to do better at just like communicating with you guys. You know what I just discovered on the YouTube channel?
Do they give you? I looked for a way to do that through the app. Like if people are set up notifications, can you push a notification that says that you're not available tonight because you're working on technical issues? And they don't let you. There's no way to do that, or that I could find.
Well, I could have made a video and just said, hey guys, this is my problem. Anyway.
Yeah, but how could you have made a video if all of your technology is screwy?
Oh, I could have recorded a video, but I could just record one on my phone.
On your phone?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you screwed up then.
Anyway, in just a couple of like interesting little notes is like we had an unexpected little like mini hit with the whale video on TikTok. I do love TikTok.
Whales are popular.
Well, people love them like we do, I guess. Even the warring ones. And so that was kind of cool. Almost 100,000 views at this point, which that's the first time, I've seen that kind of activity for the podcast, which I think is just so great. And we did get hundreds of new followers on TikTok and a few also on YouTube. So anyway, congratulations, Angela.
Congratulations.
What's going on?
Delica says that you can add it to your stories, or you could do a post maybe, says Erica.
I have to get better at all. I'll just say that.
We should notify people so they don't worry that we've been in a horrible accident.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. If there's ever a problem in the future, I'm going to notify you guys because you guys are incredible. I'm highly emotional right now because of you. So you guys got me all kind of pink in the skin right now. So I'm just warning you that tonight might be one of them nights.
Well,
I'm going to try to keep my shit together.
Let's get into the controversy, bro.
Well, let's get into the controversy. I really do appreciate you guys so much, though. I really do. I can't express it enough. So thank you so much.
That's true.
Okay. So, and of course on TikTok, which is, I'm going to work so hard to try to bring you guys the full podcast. I don't know why TikTok is such a shit. I hope they figure out that we just want to talk like everybody else. TikTok, after all, even though it's not what it means, but you know what I'm saying. Go ahead, Angela.
I don't think this needs to be set up because the judge's ruling sets it up.
Well, let me just set it up a little bit and just say, for okay, yes, please, go ahead.
So this is the order today from Judge Liman. He said on August 1st.
I am going to set it up, okay?
But he sets it up,
well,
just so you know.
Thank you. Blake Lively filed a motion to strike, and Judge Liman ruled on the motion to strike, and the ruling goes into the whole motion itself, so you'll learn all about it right now.
Should I read it?
Please.
Okay. On August 1st, 2025, counsel for the Wayfarer parties and Liner Freedman Tatelman Cooley LLP filed a letter with the court regarding Liner Freedman's pending motion to quash a subpoena. The letter broadly asserts that there's no evidence the Wayfarer parties, Bryan Freedman or his firm, have participated in a smear campaign against Lively. For support, the letter quotes one fragment of one sentence from Lively's deposition. In the deposition, Lively testifies that she believes that the Wayfarer parties have retaliated against her for reporting harassment by engaging in an ongoing smear campaign, but she, in parentheses, appropriately, refuses to reveal information disclosed to her in confidence by her counsel. The letter also includes as an attachment the entire uncertified 292-page transcript of Lively's deposition. Lively now moves under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12F that the court's inherent power to strike the attachment on the grounds that there is no conceivable legal purpose to file the whole transcript. Lively argues that the Wayfarer parties have included the entire transcript solely for strategic media and public relations purposes. Specifically, given the court's individual practices regarding sealed materials, the Wayfarer party's decision has put Lively in the position of defending the continued sealing of the transcript. Lively contends the Wayfarer parties have done so in order to advance a false narrative that Miss Lively is afraid of her deposition testimony becoming public, which is entirely untrue. The court agrees that inclusion of the entire deposition transcript served no proper purpose and accordingly grants the motion to strike.
So just stop there, man. Like, this is like, so people, I don't know what people are saying much because I haven't had a chance. I've still been in here doing all this technical stuff. So I don't know what people are saying about this ruling, but this ruling is a massive blow to the bow of their ship. Like their boat was sinking already and it's just flooding with water.
Yeah, it gets worse for them.
Continue. But this is like, I just can't stress enough how big of a blow that statement is right there.
Yeah, I'll repeat it. The court agrees that inclusion of the entire deposition transcript served no proper purpose and accordingly grants the motion to strike. And this is where he references a bunch of precedent. Courts have inherent power to manage their own affairs so as to achieve the orderly and expeditious disposition of cases.
Just to let me interrupt here because you keep doing this, is saying this, and it's totally... just said something that's totally relevant to what you just read.
Yeah, great.
Judge needs to make a bar referral. He's out of control. It's exactly what he's saying there. Incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let's see. This includes the power to strike materials outside the pleadings that are, in quotes, abusive or otherwise improper. The second, I'm skipping a bunch of this precedent. Okay, the Second Circuit has explained that a court's supervisory function over its docket is not only within a district court's power, but also among its responsibilities. Courts must therefore protect the judicial process from being co-opted and ensure their dockets are not used to gratify private spite or promote public scandal. And that's a quote from another case.
And of course that makes perfect sense. So I'm glad that's there, right? If the judge can't handle, hold down the court, then the court becomes, a playground.
Co-opted.
Yeah.
The Wayfarer party's attachment of the entire nearly 300-page deposition, after citing only 2 pages of it in the letter, served no proper litigation purpose, and instead appears to have been intended to burden Lively, and as a result the court, and to invite public speculation and scandal. Even if the cited deposition portions were relevant or provided support for the Wayfarer party's arguments, both of which are far from clear, the Wayfarer parties have not even attempted to argue that the entire deposition was relevant, nor could they. The conclusion is inescapable that the Wayfarer parties filed gratuitous amounts of irrelevant pages so that, if Lively moved for continued sealing of the irrelevant pages, the Wayfarer parties could then use Lively's response for their own public relations purposes.
Like, here it is.
The court has not only the power, but also the responsibility to step in.
Holy goddamn shit. Like, listen to me when I say,
this is
like,
what
I hope
say.
you recognize that this is so giant. Like, this is as close to a summary judgment as you could probably ask for. Like, this is a massive, massive ruling.
It gets even worse.
It's fucking crazy. Like, I don't, wow. I'm utterly blown away by it. Go ahead.
Okay, next the judge says, the Wayfarer parties offer several responses, none persuasive.
Oh my God, guys! Like if you're sitting you're sitting there and you're like thinking about getting a summary judgment. If you're going to even file for a summary judgment or do anything, and I don't know that they're going to do that because they have a lot of parties. It's a very deep case in that way, and of course she wants a jury trial because she wants that redemption.
Yeah, she's winning too.
I don't know that the court necessarily can allow a trial to go down if it's so blatantly one-sided, but that's another question. Maybe You Keep Doing This has something to say about that. But if you were like sitting around thinking, hey man, we should be filing for a summary judgment at some point, like, holy goddamn. Go ahead. Wow.
This part is not as juicy, but I'm going to go through it. The Wayfarer parties offer several responses, none persuasive. First, they observe that Rule 12F does not authorize this court to strike documents other than pleadings. They do not dispute, however, that the court has the inherent authority to strike documents other than pleadings when filed for improper purposes. Indeed, the court has already done so in this very case. The court need not resolve whether Rule 12F applies to the exhibits at issue because the court's inherent power to strike improper materials clearly empowers it to strike these materials. Next, they contend that Lively has not asserted that the deposition transcript contains abusive, improper, or libelous materials, but that is not the test. The test is whether the Wayfarer party's filing itself was abusive or improper, and given that there could have been no proper reason for the Wayfarer parties to have filed an entire transcript when only a few lines were even arguably relevant, Lively has demonstrated that the Wayfarer parties have abused this court's docket.
Holy shit.
Finally, the Wayfarer parties explain
Oh my God. It's like raising my blood pressure, but in that kind of a joyous way where you feel like spinning in sunlight.
Yeah, like something exciting is happening.
Yeah, like it's spring and it's like everything's going to be okay. Is that stupid?
No, you're adorable. You're very invested in this case because it's very close to an injustice that you experienced.
Holy shit, these guys, man. Wow.
Okay, listen. Finally, the Wayfarer parties explained that it is routine for the court to consider deposition testimony in connection with discovery disputes. It is not routine, however, for parties to attach an entire confidential deposition transcript when citing only limited portions of that transcript involving only a few lines of text in order to put the other side of the court to the other side and the court to the burden of justifying continued sealing. Lively's motion to strike the attachment is granted, and there is no cause to seal the limited portions of the transcript cited by the Wayfarer parties in the letter. Lively is directed to publicly file only these very short sections, the 2 lines that the judge is talking about. Furthermore, because the only portion of the letter that is currently redacted is the portion of the transcript that the court now orders unsealed, the court will also unseal the letter. The clerk of courts is directed to close this, blah, blah, blah. So ordered. That's the end.
I mean, I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed. I can't. I mean, I'm speechless about what it really actually means in terms of like the big play. I know what it means right now, which obviously it's just he's granting the motion to strike, and that's great. But he used the moment. He seized the moment, and if anyone was wondering, you know, what the health was of this case, he said it. He said it right there.
I think he said a lot of very accusatory, not accusatory, but very like critical.
Rebuking.
I think he said a lot of really critical things
Yeah.
in the motion to dismiss Baldoni's lawsuit too. So I think it's been a long time where he has realized that these guys are fucking with his court, that they're using it for shenanigans.
Well, it's an explosive moment, I think, in the case. I think it's one of the biggest, one of the biggest moments in terms of like certainly any kind of pre-trial stuff going on. This whole discovery phase, nothing has been, I don't think anything has been more explosive than today's ruling, because today's ruling also potentially implicates Bryan Freedman in the smear campaign, which is something that Blake Lively has contended, right?
Oh, I didn't even read these what is it called? These notes in the bottom. What are those
Footnotes?
called? The footnotes. Thank you.
It's all right.
I do not know that word. Every time I look for that word, you have to tell me what that word is. Okay.
What's that thing where, you know, it looks like a foot, but it's not a foot? What is it? Reminds me.
Okay, this part, he said, the Wayfarer Party's actions follow a pattern of using filings on the docket as an opportunity to litigate the case in the press rather than the court. The court has already stricken from the record prior filings made by the Wayfarer Parties for the improper purpose of inviting a press uproar. The court has likewise disregarded as improper attachments to other filings. So, yeah, he was just elaborating on how he was like, we've done this before. Like, this isn't new with you guys.
Yeah, so that's just it. It's like, I mean, and by the way, moments after this, she filed for sanctions. Did she not?
That was, I'm sorry, I read that to you, but that was on Monday. So she filed for sanctions, and that was before this.
Let me edit this now. So that means
that was on Monday, though. That's not incorrect. She filed for sanctions against Bryan Freedman. But here's the thing: is that the judge has now given her more, for lack of a better word, like ammo for that, like more content to add to support her case. Because if the judge is ruling on it, right? If the judge has ruled on it and used that language, then that's beneficial to her. What are you doing?
I have to make an adjustment to my because that's incorrect. Wild. I mean, what are you thinking? If you're Bryan Freedman, what are you thinking? Well, Bryan Freedman's going to be making excuses, I would imagine, to his client, right? He's going to be like, "Oh, this is not uncommon. I thought this was going to be happening. We just had to look. We got what we wanted out of it, or whatever." I mean, obviously, they have to be in on it. They have to know that this guy is fucking using the courts for his own, for this publicity stunt.
This Bryan Freedman's behavior in the court has totally changed my opinion about anything having to do with the Wayfarer Parties. Everything. Like I thought at first that they were that they didn't realize that they got a really crappy attorney, and that he wrote a lawsuit that was like not going to pass muster, Yeah. And of course it got thrown out because it didn't provide any evidence. But I thought that they were kind of getting hoodwinked by Bryan Freedman. And now I realize that they knew from the very start that they weren't going to win, and this has been the play the entire time.
Exactly.
That as long as it continues,
dude, they were never planning on winning anything.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
They're just trying to do as much damage as they can before they go down
to the ground.
Yeah,
they were good. They spent this money to burn it to the ground. Bryan Freedman took the paycheck. He took the order. He had the network. He had the press.
I was wondering why he would be willing to take such reputational damage.
You know what's so funny?
But I think it's because he's not. How often is he before a federal judge? Right? Like these are usually just. At all.
I don't think he cares.
Really?
No.
Do you think he can like walk around his whole career and make enemies of judges and make a big pain in the ass?
You have no idea how much money this man has stashed away already. Oh, this is the first time we've heard of him. We have no idea if these shenanigans are a part of his retirement plan. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Well, it doesn't matter now.
So this comment on the subreddit, Lola474 said, so a federal judge has determined that the Wayfarer parties have engaged in abusive conduct towards Blake Lively in full view of the court and the public twice now. And yet Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties wants us to believe that when they did not engage in abusive conduct towards Blake when nobody was watching. Sure, guys.
Good luck with that.
You're willing to do it out in the open with everybody.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Substantial Fox said that they want to get this quote on a T-shirt.
Which one?
The Wayfarer parties offer several responses, none persuasive.
Unbelievable. Like, again, this is where I'm saying, like, so my question to you, you keep doing this, is one question I have is like, does the judge have any kind of, duty to the taxpayer in this situation, or in any situation where if they see that there's no way for Justin Baldoni to defend himself, or there's no way for her to lose, or whatever, can they move to a summary judgment without anybody filing for one? Can they just decide this case is over? Can they just like wake up one day and go, this fucking thing is over, you win? Is that possible? Like, I just wonder if like the taxpayer has any like protection here. Like, these people are spending money. They are taking up this judge and this court, like they're taking up a lot of taxpayer resources.
But
they're not bringing forward anything persuasive or even fucking ethical.
I know. Well, they're defendants in the case, so they can't just like cry uncle and make it stop, right? Like, if they don't have a defense, and they haven't put forward any defense, I don't know what they think they're going to walk into a trial with. I guess they're just going to get creamed. But they can't not go forward with the case even if they lack a defense.
No, they have to show up.
So what is your question?
Well, that's not true. They cannot show up, and then
they cannot show up.
Yeah, they cannot show up, and then they'll just
they'll just lose
summary judgment right there, or whatever they call it. What do they call that?
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Judgment.
Can you imagine if they did that? If they just like didn't show up to
just
the trial?
Didn't show up and got a default judgment?
Yeah, and they were just like, well, she was too intimidating. We were too intimidated.
It just makes me think, like, why can't the state then sue Bryan Freedman? Like, why can't the state like try to recoup the money that Bryan Freedman is taking from the taxpayer?
That's interesting.
When there is this absolutely egregious use of a public resource.
We have your answer here. You keep doing this as being so helpful.
Yeah, she knows her stuff.
Okay. I don't know where to start.
It's good to be back, man. One day off, and I was like, oh my God. It's like, I love this shit. You know, I love hanging out with you guys.
You keep doing this. Said this was a great ruling. Freedman needs to be disbarred, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand how the court allows this man to continue when he writes this and says, this isn't my first time writing this.
Yeah.
And he writes this, which is so scathing, which is absolutely ripping the skin off of his back. Like, at what point do they at what point
soon.
is it responsible for him? Like, he talks about his responsibility to the court. Where's the responsibility to the taxpayer that this guy gets to do this and continue to do this? Like, I think it's beyond sanctions at this point. I mean, this guy's going on fucking talk shows.
You keep doing this, saying the same thing.
Suing people to oblivion.
Said, I don't know. I'm disappointed. I feel like we're past rebukes at this point and just need to sanction.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do something at this point.
Okay. Continuing. Award attorneys fees for cost of filing their MTS, motion to strike.
Mm-hmm.
See if he's saying it's a pattern, then yet another rebuke is not good enough.
Yeah, that's interesting. The attorney fees is a very interesting. I love that one, actually, because you got to pay that one.
Yeah. Judge can sanction sua sponte. Doesn't have to have a motion if it's egregious enough, which it is. It's not a lawsuit. It's a continuation of we can bury anyone. Oh, right. That's separate about this.
Yeah.
You keep doing this. Said it was an interesting question. Blake Lively would need to file a MSJ. I don't know.
Miss J.
An MSJ, motion sanction the
motion for summary judgment.
Summary judgment. A motion for summary judgment.
Correct. Yeah.
You're smart.
Well, hey, I don't know if you know this about me, but I got sued, and that is like at least 10% of a legal, like a law education. Like, I got about 10% of a law education by getting fucking sued.
You keep doing this.
Maybe it's like 8%. 7.5%, probably 6%.
You sure?
Maybe it's 5%. It could be 5%.
Okay, you keep doing this, Ed, but they can sua sponte sanction. Does not require a motion to fine him for his conduct. The taxpayer thing is a good argument, but judges don't want to chill access to the courts. Better to use sanction power.
For sure.
In other words, do we want judges to start routinely doing that without hearing the merits of cases first?
Right. No, we definitely don't.
Neri Berry is asking, Baldoni is screwed?
So screwed. Like, this is such bad news for him.
He started out screwed, though.
Quite
He decided
laughable.
to just it's like he's like circling the drain. And he just decided to do a lot of like thrashing on his way down.
If I had the fucking money,
just maybe Hail Mary.
If I had the money, I'd go to New York, and I would sit in on this trial. I would like stand in the line, and I would just sit in this trial because the circus is going to be watching. I mean, it's just going to be like watching people like walk in and just slap him like in a line, like just a line of people walking up to just smack Baldoni and then walk past. It's going to be that bad. It's going to be that much of a shit show. It's going to be like akin to him just getting repeatedly slapped in the face. Like it's going to be bad. Dina asks how much we're being paid, of course. So much money, dude. You
can tell,
Blake
right?
Lively,
just by looking at us, we're so rich.
Blake Lively and her wonderful husband, Ryan Reynolds, have retired us, actually. We got a little house by a lake. It's going to be terrific. Got a little tin boat. I'm going to go get me some trout.
This is just one room of our mansion.
This is just one room of our entire... I mean, we didn't even have this until we decided to talk positively about the demons. It's like the most original question, or in the most original statement. How much are they paying you? As if this person's not getting paid. This is like this person actually has like a W-2 with these people. You know what I mean? Very funny.
Also, it's just like a lot of people are getting paid to do like propaganda and stuff. This is the United States of America.
Yeah, United States of America is nothing but propaganda.
You know what's so funny about that accusation? How much are you getting paid to say all this?
Yeah.
That's really hilarious because it's total like projection. It's like
course.
a total reversal.
Yeah.
Like it's like a Darvo of this entire case.
It cracks me up.
Because we have evidence of Justin Baldoni talking to the people he's paying to talk shit about Blake Lively. So it's like, yeah, if you think that's a bad thing, you're accusing us of doing a bad thing, then you should really look at the other side because there's real hard evidence of that happening on their side. They get paid a lot of money. It was like the quote was like $30,000 a month.
Oh, somebody's asking me I would love to explain it. So if you don't mind, let us explain it. As a matter of fact.
Explain what?
Somebody, this Dina is saying, explain the slow dance scene. The slow dance scene is so creepy. It's just out of control, but I will explain it for you. So if you go and you have to be willing to participate. Dina, are you willing to participate? Are you willing to do a little bit of work here? Because you got to go read the script. It has 3 sentences in it. And not in one of those sentences is there any direction for him rubbing his nose all over her, or fucking breathing in her ear, or horny growling at her after spinning her. Like,
he spins her, he pulls her close, and he does a growl right in her face.
The entire video.
He's not being recorded for his character, so there's no reason for him to vocalize in character. He is doing that as Justin Baldoni, her boss.
Oh, no.
To her in her face.
The horny growl cannot be mistaken for anything but a horny growl. Do you have the minutes on it? Do you know what the minutes are?
It's at like 5:31 or something.
5:31
of the whole video file.
And this, I think, is
I screenshotted the actual like time code of the video, but I'd have to scroll a bunch to pull that up.
She spent the entire video, Dina, trying to stop him. She spent the whole video.
She said, "Why don't we just talk?"
No, she said, "Let's talk. No, kiss. Make them want it.
Don't give them that.
The entire time.
Restraint, right? And the whole time he just ignores her and keeps pushing his nose into her fucking face.
And by the way, that horny growl comes after a chat with her about saying, let's tease them, essentially. So the sum and substance of what she's saying, Dina, is let's just tease them and make them wanted.
And then the audience.
The audience.
Not him.
Not him, but he turned it into him. And he horny growls into that woman's ear. And by the way, when in the legal world, they have a term called sum and substance. And what it really means is it means that even if you don't have the details exactly right, the sum and substance of the event is explained through your memory. And this is really important because a lot of people wanted to be critical about Blake Lively, remembering him saying, this exchange or whatever the exchange was and how it wasn't precisely, like her memory was not precisely what was recorded or what actually happened. But when you put all the events together, right? This is him trying to kiss her throughout the entire video. This is him talking about
Where it's not in
their
the script.
personal lives. Go ahead, Angela. What?
It's not in the script. There's no kissing in the script.
None
So
of it.
just right there, you should understand that when he's trying to rub his mouth along her skin, when he's trying to touch lips, he's doing all of this in real time. They have not discussed it prior. You understand? Like, she is trying to figure out what's happening as it's happening.
Right.
While the cameras are on her.
Yes.
And that is not professional.
No.
That's not professional conduct from a director
not.
who has already worked with an intimacy coordinator, who should know that these sorts of things should be determined, agreed upon, And
let's remember something else, that he's beyond the director. He's the owner of Wayfarer. He's the boss of the whole damn thing. And I know, Dina, that a lot of you guys out there, you want to believe that Blake Lively stole a movie or took over a movie. And I want you to know that that's impossible. That she could only have done something like that if either Wayfarer and the principals of Wayfarer acquiesced to her requests, or if she had a co-conspirator powerful enough or at some level of equal power to them, Wayfarer, and that would be Sony. Now remember that when Justin Baldoni filed his extremely flawed lawsuit that was thrown out of the court recently, I'm sure you remember that. In that lawsuit, he only sued Blake Lively. He didn't only sue Blake Lively, but they didn't sue Sony. There's only three major parties here as it relates to the integrity of that movie: Wayfarer and this dispute. Because actually, Blake Lively wouldn't even be that. Without this dispute, it's Wayfarer and Sony. That's it. Blake Lively became a party to it as a result of all this mess. And it's so funny that you want to blame all the mess on the employee, but I would ask you to consider maybe the guys who owned the company, who owned the IP, who still own the movie that they claim was stolen from them. Maybe they lost control. Maybe that was a possibility. Like, have you considered them losing control and then somebody had to get control? And this, by the way, does happen in these kinds of situations creatively. And I know this because I'm a producer. I've produced movies.
But
So
that's a really good detail to really like hang everything on. They're claiming that she took control of the movie, right? They're claiming that she had some sort of like conspiracy, that she was trying to threaten, extort some control of the movie away from them. But at no point do they ever talk about losing control of the movie. And I just don't know how you have one without the other.
Right.
How does somebody gain control of something that is entirely within Wayfarer and Justin Baldoni's control without
Yes.
them simultaneously losing control? And if you think about it that way,
Yes.
right? Because that's reality.
It is.
There has to be some loss of control
Yeah.
if she gained it.
Yeah.
Then, and if you look at the evidence that he provided in his own court filing, that's exactly what you see.
Yeah.
She is asking for things. He is giving her things.
Yes.
He can't sue her for that.
Like, one of the great details of that is Jamie Heath, when he got the request from Blake Lively. And by the way, I just want to say that if I was a producer, if I was Jamie Heath in the situation that he was in when Blake Lively came before Justin Baldoni had completed his director's cut and asked to get involved in the edit, I would have turned her down. I would have said no flatly.
As a producer.
As a producer, I would have absolutely turned her down. I would have never let her in. And that mistake was made by them. This is what I mean by losing control. I would have not lost control of my movie or my director in that situation. By the way, I would also, though, recognize that there are rules, especially when working with the studio, but even when you're working with distributors that aren't big, giant, behemoths in the industry like Sony. They could be smaller distributors, and they're still going to weigh in on the cut if they feel like the cut needs to improve, or if from a marketing perspective, the cut is swaying to a place where they might feel there could be either bad publicity or some kind of blurry, something blurring up their marketing plan. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, this is all the important, these are the important considerations. Blake Lively was an employee, period. She was, the employer was was Wayfair, was Justin Baldoni, was Jamie Heath, and it was incumbent on them to create a safe workplace. And so if she and others were complaining, it isn't the end of the world. This is the important thing to consider, you guys. It's not the end of the world that she complained. It's not the end of the world that they may have got loose-lipped or, just didn't recognize that they were behaving in a manner that was potentially offensive to others. It's okay that happened.
It's okay that a boss told his employees in his workplace that he used to have a corn addiction. Okay. It's okay that he did that.
No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying he maybe he didn't in the circumstances. Maybe he felt comfortable in that circumstance. Maybe he overstepped the boundary because he felt like the boundary had been dissolved. It could be any number of reasons, or maybe it was actually relevant to a conversation, a deeper conversation that we don't know about, where people were talking about other addictions.
Yeah, that's true. They were really creatively collaborating. So maybe that was something.
So we can build a scenario where the offense isn't such a big deal because every SH complaint filed isn't a giant big deal. What it is it's a complaint. It's a problem. And these problems can be small. And I promise you that the problems that they got from those first couple of days on set were small. Relative to where we are today, certainly that's obvious, right? The problem isn't that they made this mistake. It happens. People fuck up. They say the things they shouldn't say. I probably said a couple of things on these lives I regret. It happens. We get loose-lipped. Eh? Sometimes people they have a couple too many wines, whatever. Even at work, actually, it's such a shame. But it's what you do afterwards that matters. And this is where the whole thing falls apart. This is where Wayfarer truly loses control. As I was saying before, when Blake Lively said, "Hey, let me into the editing room," it was incumbent on Jamie Heath to protect his director and and deny her access. And he should have done that. And he could have done that by just simply referring to the DGA, the Directors Guild of America, and their rules. Even if Justin Baldoni wasn't a member of the DGA, it is entirely common to cite rules as a matter of policy for non-union situations. So you would very often rely on these rules to create parameters of a fair working place for everybody.
Yeah, especially if there's a creative dispute and you want to settle it. You'll just be like, okay, well, I'll just defer to the guild's rules on this, and we'll just play by that rule.
So all Jamie Heath had to say was...
So that was 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, all Jamie had to... 6, I think. All Jamie Heath... It's this piece of paper. All Jamie Heath had to do was say no, was tell Justin Baldoni that he has to get his cut complete. And by the way, this whole dynamic would have changed in that moment, right there.
Yeah.
Because instead, Jamie Heath went to Justin Baldoni and gave him the option. I wouldn't have.
No, you would have just put your foot down.
Huh.
Just been like, no, we're going to protect our cut.
If the director said, yes, let her in, I would have probably had a very long talk about it and tried my best to talk them out of it. In the end, I would probably have acquiesced to their needs, their wants, their insecurities, whatever it is. But as the producer, I'd probably try to solve that problem for them and keep the cast out of the editing room. That would have been me. That would have been my preference as a producer. In fact, when I first heard all this information, I was immediately offended by the fact that she was in the editing room before our director got a chance to make a cut.
I have a theory about this.
And before you lay the theory, they let her in.
Yes.
And once you do, that is now your problem.
I've heard you talk about this when you were, because I was with you when you were making films. And I've heard you talk about how one of the biggest job of the producer is to be kind of a meat shield for all of the other creatives that work with you. So if somebody wants to have, any sort of creative dispute with the director, the producer is supposed to step in and be the meat shield. I
Correct.
just love that you call it a meat shield. What is it even from?
I don't even know. Maybe it's offensive.
You shield.
You're shielding meat.
Meat is being thrown.
I guess either meat is being thrown or you're shielding the meat, and you're being really insulting. I don't know.
Or you're a big piece of meat as a shield. I don't know.
Polly said he didn't SH her, as if that makes it true.
These people have been doing this for months.
As if that makes it true, He didn't SH you.
Have you guys not learned anything?
You guys have to understand what SH is, and that's, I think, the problem why you get confused with it, and then you come here and you shout these sillinesses.
It's not SA.
It's
although there's
she
it's
said
questionable.
SH. She said SH.
I know.
But listen, he did. Let me tell you about SH. It's an opinion. It's not really a thing. It's an opinion.
No. You don't understand. He
There
admits it.
are degrees.
In
I
his
know that.
filing,
Well,
he
I know
admits
that.
it.
Well, he
He
admits.
lists all the ways that she has been SH'd.
Yeah.
And how she was very forthright and complaining about it and wanting to talk about it. She held a meeting. She had complaints at the time, and then after like a week of everything, of accruing all of these, she had a meeting about it. This is in his court filing.
Yeah.
He admits it.
Yeah.
He describes them in detail, what her
Yes.
complaints are.
Yes, he
He
does.
then minimizes them, he's very dismissive in his language.
Yeah, 'cause no one's disputing that he walked
He also
into the
says that
trailer.
he apologized for it, as
Yeah.
if that's ever...
I'm sorry.
The Civil Rights Department is very clear that an apology is not the appropriate way to respond to
I said I was
employee
sorry.
harassment complaints.
How many fucking times do I have to say I'm sorry?
And he should have known that.
Okay, and I sent her a fucking basket of edibles. Delegate was like, it's not up to Polly to decide that.
No.
See what I'm saying,
That's
Polly?
a really
Like,
great point.
See
yeah.
how it's just not. You can't just say things and then they be true. Unfortunately, he did SH her. I saw that slow dance. He SH her all over it.
When she is saying, I don't think we should kiss, I think we should talk, and then he continued to try to
She
kiss
spent
her
the whole thing like this.
without getting her permission or her consent.
Yeah.
Guys, it's like plain as day. It's right in front of you.
Correct. And
It's pretty much...
And, there's a lot of offensive things that went on. I think the thumb in the mouth was highly offensive. People are like, yeah, but it was in the film. And I was like, yeah, well, I made a movie with Jenny Lewis, right, called Dawn's Plum. And in it, she does H. And it's real H. And we got it on film. And I was really upset about it.
Because it was a surprise?
It was something I did not... Nobody knew that was happening. And she did it. And we shot it. And I felt like we should have cut the movie. I felt like it shouldn't have happened. But it did. And it's on film, and it made the film because it's actually a really good moment. So just because he stuck his thumb in her mouth and it turned out to look good on camera, I mean, they're both pretty good looking people, so that's not so surprising. Doesn't make it right.
There were two other rulings by the judge today.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It was Baldoni, Lively v. Baldoni Day at the Liman bench.
Yeah, he got caught up on some business. So
He
another
probably
one...
he probably took like a deep ass breath and just went, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, I'm sure.
Because he's just got to listen to this guy babble on into
Yeah, well, it's not just
Stupidville.
It's not just them. It's Perez Hilton had been writing numerous
Oh, I mean, that's
very
kind of entertaining.
sassy letters
I
to
didn't
the
call him
judge.
sexy. Called him sexy.
Perez Hilton has been trying to argue for jurisdiction in Nevada, but doing it in this really dismissive way, saying that he's just notifying the court, but he's not going to be involved in any of the things that Blake Lively is accusing him on the New York federal docket, because he's going to handle his business in Nevada. Well, the judge has ruled that he doesn't get to do that because
Ooh.
Blake Lively is entitled to having her arguments heard too. And so he
Oh.
is going to have to be involved in the New York court because that's where these arguments are happening.
And he was sassy about that.
He was really sassy about it. There was another ruling.
He was kind of like, step off, bitch. And then bitch went, pardon me.
Judge Liman didn't name him in this, but check this out. This is really interesting. So this was also today. I'm just going to read this, okay?
Yeah, please.
From Judge Liman. Recently, a number of filings in this case have included intemperate language and personal attacks against parties, their counsel, and the court.
Now, I wonder who he's talking about.
I know who he's talking
It must be
about.
Blake Lively, right, guys?
All individuals filing documents in this case, whether represented or not, because Perez Hilton has been representing himself very badly, are advised that they shall not in any submission to this court use language that is disrespectful of the parties, their counsel, or the court. This includes, but is not limited to, using demeaning nicknames for parties or their counsels, or accusing the court of being, in words or in substance, biased, criminal, or corrupt. In other words, parties addressing the court in writing should use the same respectful language that they would use in person in open court. For avoidance of all doubt, this order does not prevent any party or non-party from vigorously arguing on behalf of their clients, or when appearing pro se on behalf of themselves, or from asserting publicly that a decision of this court or any other court was wrongfully decided, or that an argument promoted by a party or non-party is incorrect. Failure to comply with this order, for example, use of such language in any court submission, may subject the infringing party to risk of contempt.
You keep doing this. Wrote, demeaning nicknames, and then went like did that emoji. Like
Yes.
like it's
You
bad
guys
news.
didn't know? You didn't know what he was saying?
It's such bad news for them.
He's been giving like you know how like Donald Trump will use these like really catty nicknames for everybody,
Yes.
like Sleepy Joe and shit
Yeah.
like that. Well, so Perez Hilton's been doing the exact same thing. He has a bunch of different names for Blake Lively, but also all of her lawyers.
He's so original.
And he called the judge smart and sexy in a SH case.
In an SH case.
In an SH case. And that's why a bunch of the content creators that are pro Baldoni have been like very anti Perez Hilton on this, because they're like, you're playing right into Blake Lively's hand. You are showing her exactly what she needs to show to the court.
I have
It's very bad. Very stupid.
I have like notifications for Don's Plum, and I've had them for years, So if Don's Plum hits the news, I usually get a notification from Google. You can do that. And I did that. And I got one for Perez Hilton, and I rolled my eyes and didn't read it. I
Oh,
swear.
yeah, I know.
I just rolled my eyes and just didn't even bother.
Oh, another thing, too, is that he wrote the court and he was asking for to have attorney's fees paid for. But he doesn't have an attorney. His whole thing is that he's representing himself. He's made it clear in all of his writing to the court. So he wants to be reimbursed for nothing.
I was in a small claims court, and a case, this guy ripped me off. So I took him to court.
Yeah.
And he brought his lawyer, who was his buddy, like his friend. And he told the court, he's like, this is my friend, he's doing me a favor. And then the lawyer stood up and said, hey, if the judge finds for us, we'd like Dale to have to pay for the legal fees. And it's a small claims court. Like, fuck you.
You
brought a
here,
lawyer,
bro.
you fucking dick. That's already an advantage you shouldn't have had in the first place.
Yeah.
This
In
is a small
small
claims
claims.
court. Fucking,
That's right.
fucking dickhead.
We're talking about $1,000 here.
Yeah, less than $1,000, whatever it is, under 5,000, whatever the dumb number is. Anyway, whatever. It was pretty funny. I was like, I laughed in the court, like I couldn't help a little guffaw from slipping out, because literally it's like it's little kiddie court, dude. What are you doing?
And the judge eye rolled about that too.
Yeah,
She's like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to get a payday.
You're not getting your fees. I did lose, shockingly. All right, well.
Okay, Andrea Faye has a question.
Bring me questions.
So when filming a scene that is raunchy,
yes,
when is it harassment and when is it acting, or is it all harassment?
Well, it's not. It's harassment if you're doing something that wasn't scripted and that wasn't expressly agreed to prior to the cameras rolling, unless there's an agreement that there is a freedom to it. Okay, so and that's all there is to it. It's just, I mean, think about it. Let's just think about it. There was a time in Hollywood when there wasn't these consenting motions, when there weren't these people there to observe as a third party to make sure that there was safety. When that wasn't in place, women were getting fucking, dude, it was bad, right? And that's what spawned Me Too, dude, because men can't help themselves.
Yeah, there was this whole like a decade of really great, like big directors, the great directors, right?
Yeah.
And you kept hearing stories about how they got these incredible performances out of their actors by being really abusive.
Highly abusive, yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but there was somebody who actually filmed an attack on a woman scene. And it came out like years later that it was
Traumatizing.
It was super traumatizing to her. Like she was basically put in a situation she didn't expect.
A bit of a different topic, but still
Do you
along
remember
the same
who that
lines.
was?
I don't, but just let me emphasize, right? Like it's about safety. So if you were in a scene like that, and you were married, and you have kids, you have family, and you approved of the scene that's in the script,
Where they're slow dancing.
it doesn't matter. I don't need, like, I want to use something a little more graphic than that.
Well, no, use the one that isn't graphic. I mean,
Allow,
it's just
allow
like
me, allow me, please.
he
Allow me.
totally overstepped boundaries in a situation in which he absolutely shouldn't have.
But, well, you kind of shot on my point, unfortunately.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm not going to go there. Listen, if you spend some time thinking about it long enough, you'll recognize the importance for a woman or a man to have the opportunity to set boundaries in scenes where you're not only vulnerable, but you're exposing yourself or you're exposing the vulnerabilities of the friends and families and lovers in your life. Like, this isn't just, one thing, one person, one scene. This is there are lives involved in this, many lives, especially when we're talking about intimacy or right? Violence, right? So these are moments where you have to be incredibly caring for the performers, and you also have to be diligent in following the expectations set forth for those scenes to create a safe environment. By the way, by doing that, you really give the opportunity for the actors to give everything, because it's when actors are going to feel the most safe that they can let go. That's my theory anyway. I'm not the kind of guy who make a movie with a bunch of actors and create an environment for them that's toxic or shameful or just pure stressful or saturated in sadness. I want to create a space for the actor to create the environment that they need to give us the performance that we want and that we paid for. So there's never harassment. There's never SA if it's consenting. We know that. We know that through common sense. Sorry, Angela.
Oh, no. Don't say sorry. I was just catching up with the comments. It's just so strange that we've been seeing these people. I feel like I've gotten to know some of these people because they've been haters for like...
I mean, Polly's been around a while. Me and Polly go back.
I know, right? We've been arguing for months with Polly.
Polly's been in like a video. I think I even did a video bitching at Polly because of Polly got me all worked up. I've made a pact with myself. I'm not going to get all worked up anymore, but I'm still going to find ways to convey all my passion without I don't want to lose this channel. And if I
think you might?
I'd just be mortified if I'm barking at somebody and then they
like harassment or whatever.
Yeah, they felt like I somehow made them feel something.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to yell at people.
I don't want to make people feel bad either. It's not my point. Just because I'm a passionate guy who likes to fucking shout out his opinions.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't want to make people feel bad. I'm just evangelical, in my own little way. And
I know that you're not actually upset with people.
Correct. Never.
The other people might not know that you're not.
Correct. Because I can come off as it. I remember early in the relationship when I'm just going off, you'd be like, wow, you're getting really. I'm like, no, I'm not really. And then I'd smile and you started picking up on the fact that I'm passionate. I'm a passionate guy, man.
Yeah.
I'm like one of them kind of artists,
It's nice.
I'm the one who sits under the tree with a guitar.
I think that's kind of an ingredient of success too.
Crying.
You have to be super passionate about the things that you do. When you think about all of the really great comedians, where they come out on the stage and they're so energized,
Yes.
I would never be able to do that. I'd be like a lump. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey guys, last night I walked into a bar.
No energy.
Got scared because only blind people walk into bars.
Polly said, I can handle it. I'm not Blake Lively. Boom.
Ooh. You wish you were, honey. You'd be making a lot of money. Doing the thing you love. No, I'm sure you don't wish you were Polly. I'm sure you don't wish you were Lively. And I'm sure you don't wish you were anybody. I don't.
It must be so bewildering to her when he filed his documents, his lawsuit, and then that timeline on the website. She must have read through it and been like, he's admitting it. He's just admitting everything. Because he literally does. And he's like, but I said I'm sorry. But she totally overthought it. She spent 5 days overthinking it. And the thing I did to her that was totally SH. It must have just been so bonkers for her to be like, okay, this is going to turn people's opinion. Oh, no, still not?
It's just
oh, people are still siding with him after he fucking admitted to doing what he did to me?
Yeah, and when you watch the video, you don't, it's so funny because everyone, it's not funny, I guess, but it's sad that everybody wants to hate on this chick so bad that they're completely willing to overlook what's on that tape. That slow dance to me has SH all over it.
Yes.
It did before I even heard the horny growl. After the horny growl, I mean, there's no turning back, dude.
I am amazed that she didn't stop and be like, okay,
what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? But I know that situation, and you know that situation too. That's definitely a freeze up situation. That's definitely like oh my God, I got to get out of this situation.
No, and predators exploit this all the time. Do you remember that we saw this on it was an award show or some sort of like some big show or something where Ariana Grande got basically groped on the stage?
Oh yeah.
Somebody put their arm around her and was like sneaking their arm up her side like to touch her boobs. And she was just standing there with like her big doe eyes, like trying to like not make a big scene. And this is what the predators will exploit this. They'll put you in a situation in which you don't want to draw attention to yourself because you're in the center of a big group or the center of something that's going on that everybody deems is more important than what's happening to you. So they'll know that you're not going to cry about it. They'll know you're not going to holler or like, slap them or something like that. And that's when they'll do it. I think it happened to some actor on a talk show too. I think I've seen this before where like the actor had to like take the celebrity's hand and like take it off of their butt. Like,
oh yeah, there was that. Who was that? Oh, there was some nasty. Yeah, I remember that.
I remember when Me Too was what everybody was talking about. We shared a bunch of these. Like, yes, this happens all the time. That's a really common predator tactic. Like,
Paulie says he was acting. Was he?
At what point was he acting?
All right then. Let me tell you something about acting. You gotta do what's in the script. Like say, for example, I'm acting. And say in the script, there's no scene where I start like doing something that's highly inappropriate. Let's not make it like, in the spectrum of SH. Let's make it in the spectrum of insults. Let's say that I decide that I'm just gonna be in character and I'm just gonna start insulting the person I'm in the scene with, but that's not in the script. It's fucking inappropriate. It's not in the script. It's improper.
If that upset somebody, they'd be justified.
And if it upsets somebody, yeah, they would be correct in not only complaining about the things I said and did, but also that it was unprofessional and it caused them, confusion and discomfort in their work. So you can't use acting. It's the same. Look, they're using a lawsuit as a guise for a publicity stunt to smear Blake Lively, and now you want to talk about how ostensibly Justin Baldoni is using acting and directing as a license to commit SH. And I saw it. It was right there. I mean, look, the script is clear. By the way, you can go look at the movie. You can see it for yourself. There might be 2 seconds. There might be 2 seconds of that scene in the movie. And he knew that going in. He, in fact, talked about it being slow-mo in the first place. And then, he talked about it being slow-mo in the first place. So if you're looking at all the actions that's going on in your own mind, even as somebody who's not in film or a filmmaker, just in your own mind, try to imagine slow-moing a lot of the stuff he's doing. It doesn't make any sense. What he's doing doesn't make any sense. He also knows it's going to be just 2 minutes. They should have been in and out of there 10 minutes tops. It should have been in little chunks and pieces. It didn't need to be this drawn-out long dance, this whirly-twirly, all this nonsense. I mean, not that there was anything wrong with it, but what I'm saying is that he overshot the scene. Like by a lot. And she was uncomfortable the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time.
She was trying to get him to stop doing what he was doing, and then he persisted. Like,
did you look at her face at the end? Did you watch that and then look at her face?
When he called cut?
He called cut, and then when he also said, we got so much.
She was like, yeah.
It's only slow-mo for a few seconds. And she was like, yeah. And she got out of there. That's why, and this is, I think, why people are kind of missing the impact of this scene, because people understand, like, he overshot this. He didn't have to do all that. They could have had 1 5-minute waltz. He could have pre-designed everything with her. Hey, we'll go in for a kiss. And then they could have had that discussion. He's like, I think we should have had a kiss. I think we should have a kiss, to which she would have responded, no, beforehand. No, I don't think we should. I think we should have that. And they would have this discussion beforehand because it's not in the script. If it was in the script and she agreed to it, then the discussion wouldn't be necessary if what he was going to shoot was what was in the script.
I think that Blake Lively deserves so much more credit for going through that scene with him.
I agree.
And getting it done. Because you guys have to recognize that in the timeline of both of their lawsuit, descriptions, right, where they explain what happened.
Yeah.
At this point, she has had several SH complaints for days before this happened. So that Baldoni is not recognizing that he should be very careful because he's already overstepped boundaries and he has heard feedback about his overstepping of boundaries by the time that dance scene happens.
Correct.
It's just wild to me that he continued to behave this way. He had total disregard for his professional role in that workplace.
Yeah. And by the way, we're talking about going off script in these sensitive spots, right? So this isn't about you like improving like something funny or you improving even something angry or emotional or whatever. We're not talking about that kind of stuff, which I think you have to be careful there too. And there are lines that can be drawn. There are boundaries. And this is what I think you guys keep missing out on are the boundaries. There are boundaries, guys. Why wouldn't there be boundaries in this situation? What do you think? Blake Lively is just supposed to sacrifice her own personal security or feeling of well-being so that Justin Baldoni can get the movie he wants? That's not how it works. And I can say with a reasonable amount of confidence that none of that had anything to do with the movie he wanted to get. It had everything to do with holding that woman in his arms. It had everything to do with rubbing up on her and getting that face in there and taking the deep smells and doing the horny growls. I personally believe, I have nothing more than my belief and the evidence in the case thus far to support it, that rumor that had begun early on that Blake Lively had fallen in love with Justin Baldoni and that he had rejected her because he was a happily married man with kids. And she got, she became venomous after that. And this was like the result. And this, this whole thing boiled down to her.
Yeah, the publicist created this. They have it
but
in
I
documents where they're talking about
I believe that it's fucking projection. Especially when you look at that slow dance scene. I think Justin Baldoni, and this is total theory on my part, but I think this guy had a dream in his head that they were going to be the next Bennifer. They were going to be the next fucking Angelina Jolie and fucking Brad Pitt, that they were going to each leave their respective, lovers, and they were going to sail off into this big, Hollywood scandalous, fucking marriage swap. I believe that it's highly possible.
Or just have a workplace affair.
No, I think he was going for the show. I think this guy was like, you ever see those pictures of those people like sitting on rockets that are just shooting up, those like cartoon characters? Like he was on one of those, man. Shit was on fire. He was fucking shooting to the moon.
It's true. He had a billionaire in his pocket. He's working with Sony. He's a big director.
Hit films.
He has
podcasts.
He also like skated by on all those lawsuits that were brought against him. At this point, he's like, I am untouchable. I'm Teflon. Nobody can sue me and make it stick.
I remember sitting in the trailer with Jeremy Sisto and Alicia Silverstone on the set of Hideaway in 1994. And we were just hanging out, and they were talking about, working with Jeff Goldblum and working on this relatively big budget film compared to anything that either of them had ever worked on prior. And Alicia turned to Jeremy Sisto. She had this that grin she gets. And she said, it's Oliver Stone next. You know that, right? It's Oliver Stone next. So what I'm trying to demonstrate is like how I believe this is like not unique to her. I believe that, and I've seen this in more people, but as the finest example I could come up with where, you're always thinking about what's next in your climb to the very fucking top. People who get into Hollywood, what makes Hollywood such a difficult place is that more often than not, whoever you're going up in your journey with, they're trying to get ahead of you. They're trying to get to the top ahead of everybody else in the pack they're running. So part of the way you get there, one of the things that is a signature in Hollywood is that love set, that set love affair. And so
that's so fucked up. It's so messed up. It's
and
be so hard
Justin Baldoni is the kind of guy, in my opinion, based on not knowing him at all.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy, I just had to do the captcha, thank you for your patience, who would recognize the the opportunity, and when you think about the publicity that his attorney, let's pretend that everything that he wants to say and make us believe about the publicists and all the bullshit about him trying to launch this crisis PR campaign, all this other stuff. So let's pretend that we can believe his story. One thing we all know is true is that he hired a lawyer who went on a publicity tour with this case. And during that publicity tour, Blake Lively took the most damage out of all of this in her career. And that the judge today has completely agreed with that.
Yeah.
So even if you want to believe that Blake Lively is this thing and didn't get this thing, why is one behaving one way, the one way in which they've been accused of? They've been accused of doing what they're doing. It's what I don't understand about you. And if you could do me a favor, those of you who support Justin Baldoni, I'd love for you to help me understand how, by them doing what she's accused them of doing, how can you not see that that's writing on the wall? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I have to say that
if Justin Baldoni
Yeah.
If Justin Baldoni had come out and said, no, listen to me.
Yeah.
I'm man enough to handle this, you guys. You don't got to fight my battles for me. And what we don't do is disparage women in dispute. We don't do that.
Amazing. That would have been amazing.
What we're going to do is Blake and I are going to settle this one way or another.
No, I would have had a much better
I
opinion
hope
about
that
him.
Blake and I can find a way to settle this amicably, because that's what I want. The last thing I would ever want to do is harm her. And so please, I'm begging you, do not attack her character. This is a dispute between people and we're going to settle it. This is not your dispute. That's not what happened, is it? He got involved in the smear campaign ongoing. He's been on the smear campaign. You are a part of his smear campaign if you're supporting him. Because if you were supporting him, his support should be the protection of women in this situation, regardless of dispute. If you listen to his own words, man.
In his TED Talk, yeah.
Not mine, not the judges, not Blake Lively's, not Justin Baldoni's wife, not Jamie Heath. If you just listen to Justin Baldoni's own words, then everything he has done in this whole case is wrong. If you believe what he said about what should be done in this situation, then everything he has done is wrong and flies in the face of it. So which Justin Baldoni is the fraud? That's the one I want to know. Just tell me which one it is. Is it the man enough? Is he the fraud? Like, which one is the fraud? Because there's no way any of this should have happened if Justin Baldoni were truly man enough. Because, you know, if you believe if he believed his own words, he would have recognized immediately, by the way, when the first SH complaint landed, that he had a major problem on his hands that needed to be taken care of delicately. He would have known that, dude. He should have known that if he wasn't a fraud. So I beg you, like, think this through. Because if you do, and you're a reasonably minded human being, you will find that Justin Baldoni is at the very least acting highly inappropriately. And his representatives, of course. Highly inappropriate. And, you know, I get shocked and surprised at the amount of vitriol that comes out of people who join our lives, who, you know, whenever I've produced in the early part of this case any content out there, you know, I stopped producing it because people were just so bloody awful.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's like, why? Why do you think that Justin Baldoni wants you to be so awful to people? Why do you think Justin Baldoni, this person who fights for women, this person who believes in equality, why do you think he wants you coming into people's lives and hating on a woman? Like with venom and vitriol pouring out of your fucking lips. Does Justin Baldoni want that? Is that
how he wants to be defended?
Is that it? Are you doing what this man, this protector of women, this man who is whose focus and dream was to eradicate toxic masculinity?
I'm so curious to know how he's going to pivot after this, how he's going to try and reinvent himself, whether he's going to just completely forget about his whole you know, male feminist persona after this, because I don't know how he's supposed to, you know, get back on that horse, you know. Would you like to hear from the chat?
Yes, please. I'm sorry, that was a sermon on the mount. I apologize.
The
I am trying to build a following, though, after all.
Erica said, "We love it when you get all worked up." I am Bobo said it was awesome to watch. Guilty Angel said, "Dale, I love your passion. Keep doing what you do and never stop writing."
Yeah, I'm gonna get back. I can't wait. I'm working so hard so I can move towards my next book, and I'm so excited about it. I have so much to share in that world.
Delicate said, "Yeah, I didn't hear the horny growl, and I was still so uncomfortable, and I couldn't finish because it was triggering, and I've been in similar situations."
Exactly.
He is conveniently acting when he is doing something inappropriate.
Right.
That is pretty convenient.
I'll tell you, man, the horny growl, everybody knows what that is. Every woman and every man.
Yeah.
Every man knows what that is. We all know what that is. This is not a one-sided situation. That thing wasn't acting. That horny growl was his desire coming out of his throat.
I Am Bobo is wondering if you have been following the Hulk Hogan and Brooke apparently trying to understand how her dad passed away.
Yeah, dude, I think she's trying to look. I hate to sound so insensitive, but this chick just can't get. This chick just can't get out of the press. Like why do we have to know about it? Why do okay, go find out.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, she's trying to imply there might have been foul play. And
foul play.
There's no foul play here.
Well, maybe
he had a cardiac arrest.
Yeah,
he was a heart attack. It was
I know
he was the foul play was the drugs he pumped into his system to become the Hulk.
That's right.
That was the foul play. The foul play is how he treated his body, his mind, and the people around him. That was the foul play.
I wonder
the foul
whether
play was the way he conducted most of his life.
Dale, hang on a minute. I wonder whether she knows something, man, because it might be pretty easy to get away with it if you're attacking somebody in a way that people would suspect would be a natural cause.
If she, his estranged daughter who did not speak to him and to whom he did not speak, if she's got some kind of inside stuff, all right, let's hear. If it comes out that Hulk Hogan was, removed from the earth, yeah, man, I'll jump all over it. But right now, the way this looks to me is Brooke Hogan, whose name I didn't know and now see everywhere, is just on the publicity train right now. She's making comments. She's picking. It's so much. It's like, Ozzy Osbourne died.
That's also a really difficult way to grieve. I wouldn't recommend.
Well, I question the validity of its grieving. I'm not saying she's not sad that her father died. I'm not saying she's going through her.
No. I'm not being critical. I'm just saying it's not healthy for somebody to just be constantly engaging with I
just don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like she's every fucking other article I see is of Brooke. And listen, man, if there's foul play, then yes, obviously I'm all about seeing that unfold, and I'll do my best to opine on it. But right now, I don't see a lot. I've skimmed a few of these articles. I actually read a few in the beginning, and then I was just like, what is going on here? There was it all reeked of publicity, the actual content of it,
Oh, because there wasn't much.
Yeah, it was just kind of exploiting her own grieving process for the sake of this publicity. She's all over it. It's a little weird to me.
Okay, pivoting.
But grieving is a fucking weird thing, and yes, please pivot.
I would like to know about this. Your feelings about this other story in the news.
Okay.
What are your feelings about big game hunters and big game hunting? People that travel far and wide to go and pursue these high,
I loathe them only slightly less than I loathe racists and misogynists.
Oh.
I think big game hunters are a filthy breed of a human being. I feel like they should be kept from anyone who wants an example of humanity.
Some people are saying that big game hunters actually help support a local economy, which is I can't even say
disgusting.
I can't even say it with a straight face because I'm okay, so you're justifying it by supporting capitalism. It's just let's not do that. Other people are saying that there is some conservation aspects to hunting.
If you commercialize culling, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to call the boars in the South and stuff. Sometimes you got to call by just saying, "Hey, get on your trucks, get our guns, let's go." You know what I mean?
Wild boar hunting.
You got because they're just so prolific.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have that kind of a deep problem that, a government can't handle. This is not the situation in most cases. In most cases, a culling can be done scientifically.
Well,
and even if you're going to hire people or you're going to open up licenses for culling, right? It's culling. It's not big game. I mean,
it is. I mean, they're saying that, okay. I will tell you that there's a story in the news.
Yeah.
That is everybody's talking about.
Okay.
There was a hunter from Texas.
Yeah.
He was some real estate executive.
Oh, I know the story.
You know the story?
Yeah.
He flew to South Africa to hunt.
And got hunted.
Yes. The hunter became the hunted.
I'm saying, bro, you know what? If you're going to go. I wonder if like Steve Irwin was there. He's like, I got a better way to die, buddy. You could actually have been noble and heroic.
Anyway, so all day yesterday, everybody was reveling in the fact that this guy met his demise in the very expected way of. I learned a little bit more about this. Have you ever heard of a Cape buffalo before?
I haven't. No.
Okay, so the Cape buffalo is like 100 or 1,900 pounds, and like 30.
A little guy.
Yeah, like enormous animal, and apparently they can
like
run.
Moose raised their eyebrow.
They can run up to like 35 miles per hour, and they will fight you. And apparently in the
35 miles an hour is really fast.
Yes, for a buffalo.
It could like it's more than enough to completely like unalive a cop on a cold evening in Boston.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So the locals have called this animal, the Cape buffalo, the Black Death.
Oh.
And it's because they're so dangerous.
I just got a vision. Like, the fucking lighting was perfect. There was some steam.
They're so scary
nostrils.
and dangerous, Dale, that they cause 200 deaths per year.
Wow.
Buffalo.
Sharks are like, leave us the fuck alone.
There's rules about how you should never approach one at like the certain distance you need to stay away from one, because if they start charging at you, that's the distance that you have to be in order to escape.
Get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's really dangerous to be anywhere near them because they're so pissed off all the time.
And humans probably.
Okay, so this guy had been tracking one of these because he intended to take one down, okay? This hunter from Texas.
Okay.
Where he didn't belong.
Yes.
He flew all the way there. He spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to hunt this buffalo, and he was tracking him with a guide and another tracker. Okay, like a hunter buddy from the organization that hosts these rich
presumably
guys.
The capitalists. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then a tracker, and he was tracking this buffalo for like almost a week before it noticed and turned on him, and apparently it was like swift justice. And so everybody online all day yesterday was like reveling in how what a stupid like Darwin Award thing that was to do, and how he got just exactly what he was asking for. And other people were even saying, other hunter enthusiasts were saying that they believe it's like a worthwhile way to go, because it's like the thrill of the hunt is to try and take something down that can hurt you.
It's kind of how I feel about it. It's like he died he died doing what he loved, right? I mean,
right.
He loved, he lost the fight. I couldn't be happier with the outcome, frankly. And it's not because I wish death upon anybody, but like, man, if you're going to get in that game and you're going to go toe to toe with a beast like that, and the whole point is that these guys, now they've got like, what sucks about it is that that's going to get like the blood pumping and all those fucking cliff jumping lunatics with money. You know what I'm saying? I was in Victoria. I used to do some cliff jumping, and there are these maniacs, and they'll jump like, it's like they're trying to unalive themselves, bro. They jump off these like obscene cliffs where there's like, they have to clear like 10 feet. I saw a guy
that makes me so uncomfortable.
within
I've seen
inches,
those videos before.
narrowly miss completely gutting himself.
Horrible.
Like, and I was like, I got mad. I was like, you would have ruined everybody's life here,
Yeah, somebody has to go down there and get your ass.
Yeah, dude, we would have all witnessed that, you fucking moron. I was so mad. I left. I actually stopped going to that cliff because these guys were all there was this super dangerous cliff, and eventually somebody did, fall to their demise. But that's what my worry is, that this will like launch the the fucker who's like, oh, I want it. Yeah, you beat him, but you won't beat me. Those fucking weird fucking losers, bro.
Black Death. I'll show you the Black Death.
Black Death, and you're like, I'll show you Black Death. And he like grabs his gun, and it's got already on it inscripted on the butt, Black Death. You know,
Well, today,
that's like my bad B movie, right? Black Death grabs Black Death to kill.
and
Black
it's about a
Death.
buffalo.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh.
No,
Well, today everybody got scolded for our bad behavior online.
for it.
Yes.
Well, look, listen. I
There's
don't.
a bunch of hunters that are like, we hunt for conservation. You don't understand.
Fuck
Like, we're
you.
keeping this, like, this ecosystem in check. And everybody's,
Fuck you.
nobody wants to fucking hear it.
Yeah, fuck you. I say
There's
fuck
this,
you to that. The ecosystem could do without you, buddy. The only thing you're doing is participating in the
but I saved this for
disruption of the ecosystem
I
and
saved
destruction.
this from. Sorry. Are you doing that on purpose?
No, I think I should try though, just because it is kind of funny.
Listen.
Yeah.
I found this satire website. It said, "Goring to death, pricks with rifles helps to keep their numbers under control," insists Cape Buffalo community.
Culling the colors. Oh, that's great. It's true. There's too many of them, apparently.
A Cape Buffalo in South Africa has defended the goring death of 52-year-old American millionaire game hunter this week, insisting that it was... Hang on a second, let me find that.
That's so fantastic. Hey, man, you know, like I say, it's all fair. That's what I'm trying to say here. It's all fucking fair. Like, these guys are cool with killing these animals, then, yeah, well, they gotta be cool with dying, too.
Here it is, I'm sorry. A Cape Buffalo in South Africa has defended the goring death of a 52-year-old American millionaire game hunter this week, insisting that sometimes you have to cull the idiots to keep their numbers down.
I love it, dude. That's a funny person. Who is that?
This is from a website called News Thump, and this was written by Andy Matthews.
Fucking Andy, man. I want him at my barbecue.
Speaking from a watering hole, herd spokesbuffalo Simon Williams told reporters, "We don't enjoy doing this, but there are simply too many of them."
Oh, the buffalo are everywhere, I swear.
One minute you're chewing grass, the next there's a sweaty man in camouflage pointing a gun at your head because his yacht club pals dared him. This is just basic population control to ensure nature's delicate balance is restored. I just love it.
So great.
I won't be shamed. I won't be shamed for thinking that these people deserve what comes to them.
Yeah,
I don't
neither.
believe that that you can be a good person and then do this for fun. I don't think that that's. There's pictures of this guy on all of these. You know, they're trying to shame us for saying that he got what he deserved. And there's pictures of him holding up, like, dead mountain lions and stuff. Like, bro, you didn't have to do that. Like,
Dead
nobody's
mountain lions.
Yes, especially mountain lions, because it's so incredible when they actually. It's like he's holding up like a really healthy looking adult, not even skinny or anything. And mountain lions have to do so much to survive, like pesticide exposure and like habitat loss and everything. And it's like, dude, fuck these guys for like going and taking them down for that.
Yeah, and then
for fun.
And then these guys
It's
who are just
entertainment,
for
you know?
sport. I won't even sport fish now because, and of course I should have known this, but yeah, the hook hurts, like badly. Like the scientists measure pain or whatever, and so they measured taking hooks out of fish's mouth, and it is like excruciating pain. And you know, I did that a lot. Like I took a lot of hooks out, and when I read the article, I was like going through the flashbacks of it. It didn't make me feel good. Do you know what I mean? Now listen, when I was a vegetarian I was a vegetarian 14 years. Went back to meat. I'm now more or less a vegetarian again, but when I was a strict vegetarian, it was more of an activist for activist reasons, you know. And where was I going with that? Oh shit! It slipped away. It'll come back.
Apparently the big game hunter who was bested by his prey. Apparently his wife tried to grieve him online, you know, like put up a post honoring him.
Yeah.
And apparently she had to take it down because everybody was LOLing her.
Well, that's too bad.
And it's really sad, but here's the thing, like I'm so sorry to people who have to learn in such a horrible, you know,
I just wish people could fucking create boundaries.
That their loved ones are like jerk-offs, you know? Like, I'm not saying that he wasn't a nice person. I'm not saying that he didn't love his family. But when you have somebody who engages in hunting big game for sport, you cannot be surprised that the rest of the world is going to unify in thinking that they got what was coming to them when they were
Let me say this.
harmed.
Let me say I've a comment about this because I think it's an important comment actually, because this is where I think there's a boundary crossed. I think you leave her alone. I think you let her grieve. I think people interfering with people grieving is just on the mean side. Mean girls, kind of mean shit.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know what happened that made her take it down. I don't know if she just decided that. I don't know if she was actually being bullied or anything by anybody.
Let me just also say that racism is something I loathe. Like I think it's racism, misogyny, and any kind of marginalization, LGBTQ, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. Any human above another human is a tragedy for us all. That's how I feel about it. But I loved a racist. Like, I loved him. He passed away not so long ago, and I grieved deeply because I cared for him so much. And he was a fucking straight up racist, and I mean of the worst kind. I mean, he never did anything physically, but his mind was rotten with the stuff.
I don't know that it's comparable.
Well,
because
what I'm
you're
talking about
is like
a
fear-based ideology that a person would have to spend a lot of effort to deconstruct within themselves.
Well, I think
versus a person who has who's engaging in a sport that is really, really controversial, and everybody knows it. Everybody that engages in that sport knows it's really controversial.
I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about the person who loved that person. I'm talking about the person who loved that person. I'm talking about that person deserves to be left alone and be left to grieve that they don't have to be a bad person to love that person. Like, you don't have to be a bad person. Like,
I don't think anybody's arguing against this. I think that you're totally right, and everybody agrees with you.
I'm just saying, like,
that
she should have been out of
bounds.
bounds. She should have been out of bounds, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, when she posted that up, people should just fucking left it alone.
Yes.
And let people who want to grieve come to it. And this is where I wish.
I think we're not debating that.
Well, I'm putting it out observationally. I hope that there is a time where we can, like, that's a part of our existence where the majority of people would refrain from that kind of behavior and instead go and, like, bash the lives talking about it.
My point was that if you are in such an insulated bubble that you don't know that the fun and entertainment that your beloved family member does when they were mortally wounded, right?
Yeah.
Is extremely controversial and even hated.
Yeah.
Then I don't know that that's anybody's fault, right? I don't know that anybody is to blame for that.
Right.
Like, if she found out this way, that we think that behavior is absolutely deplorable and that it should be punished, maybe not so, maybe not this way, but obviously, you travel across the world to hunt something called the Black Death that unalives 200 people other than your loved one every single year. Like, why would anybody go and pursue that unless they're a maniac?
We're never going to disagree on this. That person is, listen, I revel in the winners, in the outcome. I revel in it. I do. Like, anytime the animal wins in that situation, I'm going to be happy. Every time the animal wins in a hunt, I'm going to be happy.
We feel this way in nature shows.
Yes.
When it's animal versus animal.
Yeah, dude. We're fucking, come
when
on.
the gazelle, like, gets away,
I'm
you're
all
like,
about
yes.
the underdog, man.
You know what I mean?
But again, I just wanted to point that out, and I think it's worth pointing out. I like the opening. I like the window because there's something to be said about that. There's something about there's a difference between being that person and being somebody who loves that person, and I mean a big giant like morality difference. Like I had to reconcile with so many things but this guy I loved him. He loved me, but he was a bad dude in my books.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel really, really bad for the other people that didn't deserve to get attacked by a Cape buffalo. I don't really know that I feel bad for the person who was trying to hurt one and got attacked.
Yeah.
Like
No.
you get warned about dangerous animals that you shouldn't approach.
Listen, dude, it's like the guy who fucking died in the submarine. It's like, well, now look what you did. Because you had it coming, bro. I mean, that's it. You're going down there. The tin can's going, and you're going down and down and deeper. I mean, you're a fool.
They're apparently there's a classification for these African big game, like trophy hunted animals. They call them the Big Five, and there are 5 animals. I can't remember all of them, but I'm sure it's like lions,
elephants,
and
lions,
alligators, like whatever.
Water buffalo.
Those are the ones that you could really get hurt.
Not alligators.
You could be really like messed up by hunting them.
Right.
And I just don't know why we're allowed to, like, why is anybody pursuing hunting these instead of just going to therapy to figure out what the fuck they're like. I'm sorry you weren't like hugged as a child, and you need to fight. You need to like to risk your life to feel some sort of like glimmering sense of self-importance. But like maybe there are more constructive ways to go about it.
I can only say that I'm thrilled that you have no idea why and that it puzzles you. I can only say that I'm so glad you're not sitting across from me going, I mean, I get it. You know, it's so horrific. It's so unimaginably horrific. One of the like great like environmental movies that I ever watched in my life that like was like just so profoundly moving to me was Gorillas in the Mist. Mm-hmm. Did you see it?
Yeah, a million years ago. I can't really remember it.
It's just Sigourney Weaver's incredible in it, and of course the story is just fucking amazing. And you know, the first time you see an ape taken, you know, and butchered, it just makes you so mad. It just makes you mad.
You see what I mean?
You know,
what is the matter with these people?
Oh, no, I know.
You know, like
they're broken. They're broken.
I don't have much compassion
they're
for destroyers.
They're like,
you know
murderous
what I mean?
people.
You could spend your life being a creator, but instead you want to be a destroyer.
That's right.
I don't get it. For fucking points.
Happens.
I love how that satire article wrote it, where they were like, oh, because his buddies at his country club fucking dared him to. Like, what is going on with these people? Why is it even a thing? Maybe if more of them, you know, meet their end, it'll stop.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about whether, like I said, every time I'm going to cheer the animal. Every time.
Yep.
But I'm never going to fly in the face of the grieving. I'm never going to purposefully look, this guy, you know, things get famous, right? You have an affair and Chris Martin catches you
at a Coldplay concert.
It's gonna go viral. So you want to fucking go out there and like, you know, put your affair on display, then you know you got to eat the Cheerios you poured in the bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. If you're gonna go hunt, you know, Black Death, expect to lose, man. Dude's legendary, bro. He's gonna take your shit down. So and I wish these people didn't exist and didn't do what they did, but sadly they do, and we are left with you know, the carnage they leave behind, or occasionally the grin on our faces.
Katie with us on TikTok said we should just respect grieving people, which of course Katie said I'm sure big game hunting may dwindle as the baby boomer generation.
Well, I think you're probably right. I think there's probably far less
he was 52.
Gen Xers. He was 52. He was core Gen Xer. God, they're just fucking. Why are people so awful and horrible and shitty and ugh?
So he made his wealth by selling ranches in Texas. No, he's in Texas, but he sold ranches like all over the U.S. So he's like selling to ranchers who have like hunting land and stuff, which is like, I get it. I don't have a problem with people who like hunt deer and stuff. I think it's a really gruesome thing to be entertained by. I think it's like, anytime I ever hear a story about somebody who gets like buck fever, I'm like, yeah, that's the spirit of the forest trying to tell you that you're doing something
that's
wrong.
A great
like, you should really listen to it.
I knew a guy who got buck fever and it fucked his up. Like it
yes,
fucked his, because he used to go hunting with his dad and they'd come home. You know, I lived in Winnipeg, Canada, and it was my neighbor Drew, and he and his dad, and they come with like a buck. Big fucking like 12-point buck on their half ton or whatever, you know, and all that sort of stuff. But he got buck fever and it just totally fucked his brain. Here's what I'll say was, and I think I missed this and I was trying to set it up. I was a vegetarian for a very long time, but and as an activist. But the thing I actually respect hunters who feed their families.
But these guys are fucking trophy hunters. There's no reason why he needs to go and murder a fucking mountain lion.
No.
A healthy adult mountain lion, which is so rare. Like, we really have to protect some of these species, you know? I don't care that they're not in, like, endangered status, you know, that somebody hasn't determined that they need to be protected. Like, it's just common sense.
Why can't they be held precious for what they are?
You know what I mean? You're not feeding your family with a mountain lion.
Population aside, unless there's a culling that's necessary, and that can happen because we've created imbalance in our world, and we have to somehow try to restore it. There was this great story about the seals, right? Because the high slaughtering of the seals. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, remember, I don't know, you wouldn't remember this, but like in the 80s, in the early 80s, when you were just a baby, there was this huge push about
I do remember
seals.
that.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
I remember seeing images of like clubbing.
Yes.
And I was like, what is...
And people like at seal holes waiting for them to come up and stuff. So, and there was just like this big like outcry against this slaughtering of seals. And so they stopped in many of these regions, and the seals like overpopulated because we fucked them up. We fucked up their entire, ecological, biological balance. And they just like ended up like tilting toward this like mass reproductive process that ended up like wildly overpopulating the seals in this particular region. I read this so many years ago, so I can't cite anything, sadly. And I do hope that my memory is holding up well enough for me to tell the story. But
I'm interested in that. I should look that up.
Absolutely fascinating. But it was just like this big seal boom that came after, and it makes sense. Like intuitively, instinctively, if we're not going to give them, the grace of intelligence or being, reasonably intelligent creatures, and that they're just running on, their subconscious intuitive self.
I just feel like you have to be such a massive ghoul to engage and get entertained by trophy hunting.
Ghoul.
I feel like if you happen to be unalived by some of the big game that you're hunting as a trophy hunter, then maybe it's not such a loss because you were dead already. That's how I feel about it. I just feel like you've got to have such like a corruption of your spirit in order to even be interested in doing that sort of thing. And like hunting to feed your family is a very different conversation. Or like trying to control like wild boar populations, like that's a massive problem. But that's different than what these guys fucking do. Anyway.
In
just
other
thought
news,
I'd share that with you.
In other news, the Epstein thing won't go away, and so I guess there's all these letters that are coming out. Have you heard about this? All these letters. You know how Trump's birthday letter came out?
Yes.
Well, now there's one from Woody Allen, and apparently there's a bunch of others. In Woody Allen's
collected letters.
In Woody Allen's to Jeffrey Epstein, which was also a birthday note, I believe. He called Epstein a Dracula. He said he was a Dracula, and he also referenced the young women in his life.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Speaking of ghouls.
Speaking of ghouls, yeah, you brought the word ghoul, and I was like, I know one. Oh wait, I know it too. It's just amazing how these people, of course, they hang out with each other. It's like a network.
Woody Allen is such an interesting, controversial topic because, like, a lot of people will decide not to believe the allegations against him.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of ignoring you have to do in order to think that he's not like a creep dirtbag. Do you remember when he gave his?
I loved his movies, dude.
I know. He's a clever filmmaker.
Yeah.
Woody Allen gave a Lifetime Achievement Award speech. She was what's her name? Diane Keaton.
Yeah,
Diane
that's right.
Keaton was receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award, and Woody Allen was going to give the speech before she was to receive it.
Because of her role in Alice, of course.
In what?
Wasn't it Alice?
No.
You sure?
I don't think it was Alice.
Okay, go ahead.
Annie Hall.
I mean Annie Hall.
Annie Hall.
You're right.
Anyway, he made the whole speech.
Fucking love that movie too.
He demeaned her consistently throughout the whole speech. If you listen to it, it's like
I heard
really
it.
horrific.
It's horrific.
He tries to do this whole comedy routine about how she's really good at giving blowjobs. It's really fucked up. Like a whole audience meant to honor her for her lifetime achievement, and he decides to like degrade her.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's such a fucking dirtbag.
So,
I'm not even surprised about any new thing that comes out about Woody Allen.
By the way, like it's been a long time since I've had any respect for him, and it's like another of those situations where it's just like sad because it's this great artist completely consumed by corruption. And, it's a sad thing, but so many they just rot. They just get rotten.
I don't know that he wasn't ever a bad person.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying like he was. It's emboldened by these people around him who want what he's got.
He really does test the theory of like, can you separate the art from the artist? And I think I can still enjoy a lot of Woody Allen movies because they involve so many other people making them. Like I loved like Match Point.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, it's like one of my favorite. I think it's one of his most underrated. It's got a great cast with Scarlett Johansson and Jude Law, and just the whole cast is fucking so solid. Yeah.
Didn't he also do? Was Vicky Cristina Barcelona his too?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that one.
It's a great movie.
Speaking of movies, did you want to talk about the War of the Worlds?
Oh my God.
So they
Ice fucking Cube, bro.
They did a modern day
The only
remake
thing
of War
Ice
of the
Cube
Worlds.
did was ice his career. Holy shit, that is the worst movie I ever saw in my life.
So we were so curious because people were talking about how this new movie that just came out on Amazon Prime had a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, I mean,
It
this
was
is how
so
curious
bad.
we were standing there like we were like getting ready for the live or something. This was 2 days ago. And well, yeah, this was going to be up on yesterday's live, but of course, you know what happened. We're just standing there like I'm in the kitchen and then Angela, preparing dinner, and Angela's on the sofa like going through stories for the live, and she was like, and then you read the headline, which was basically zero Rotten Tomatoes.
The worst movie ever made.
So I literally dropped what I was doing. Like we just stopped, fucking sat down, went to Prime, and we started playing the worst movie I've ever seen. And I am not even exaggerating. War of the Worlds starring Ice Cube is the worst movie that has ever been made in this country. It is. That made by any kind of major studio, certainly.
It's really strange to hear you say that too, because like as a filmmaker, I've watched you be like really delicate in your criticisms about films because you recognize how difficult they are to make, and you understand that sometimes it doesn't always land the way you'd want to, but that doesn't mean that you're like that you deserve to be punished.
It's fucking dude.
But like you're so savage about this one.
It's the worst movie I've ever seen. It's literally. So I thought Kevin Connolly has to be feeling good.
Oh my God.
Because Kevin Connolly made the worst movie ever made.
He's like, why am I in this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got to be feeling good because it's like, people are going to stop talking about Gotti, which was his train wreck of a movie.
You're never going to stop talking.
And so Angela did me a favor because she was like, surely it didn't get 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. You were like, surely it didn't. It did.
It did, yeah.
It did. It's a tie.
It's a tie.
It's a tie. Gotti got 0.
They're in the same club.
But this movie has to be. I haven't seen Gotti. This movie has to be worse than Gotti.
I pulled up my favorite review of it from Letterboxd.
Okay.
Would you like to hear this?
Only if you promise to tell us who reviewed it.
The guy that is reviewing this, his name's Cinema Joe,
Yes.
and he gave it a ½ star, which I think is the smallest you can give in order to leave a review.
Yeah. Well,
He said, a screen life adaptation of War of the Worlds, where the invasion of Earth is saved by Amazon and government surveillance overreach. Feels pointless to mention that it's a career low performance from everyone involved, or that it looks like an early 2000s sci-fi channel movie. But suffice to say, this is a psychotic movie. Not a fan of being hyperbolic, but arguably one of the worst movies to be released / distributed by a major platform in the last 5 years.
I'm surprised he's giving it 5 years. This is I think in the history of the business, this has to rank high on the worst releases of all time. First of all, most of the first act is overlays.
Yes.
It's like the director sat in Canva
Yeah.
and made the fucking movie in Canva.
I know, and they keep doing this like zooming in.
Oh my god! And it's all like fucking
On a computer screen?
And the whole movie, it's like a fucking live stream of a dude at work.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's like fucking out of control.
But you're forgetting the product placement.
And then of course, yeah, it's all Amazon. Literally, his son. I don't care about the spoilers because if you watch this, man, shame on you. No, I'm kidding. I did. I would not shame you for that. You should. You should watch.
It's going to be very popular.
If you
Everybody's going to
love
watch it.
If you love watching horrible movies, this is tops of your list. Where's Cosmic Urgency when you need him? The fucking son has a way to save the dad or something, to get him out of the building. He's got to get out of the building. He needs something or whatever. The son has the thing he needs, and his son is a delivery person. He's a delivery driver for Amazon. He's got his Amazon clothing on, never takes it off. It's just a vest.
In a disaster.
It's just a vest. Like, I would take that vest off right away. I don't know why you wouldn't, but maybe not, whatever. Hey. So his son says, well, I'll send you the drone, but you got to make an order. I am not fucking shitting you when I tell you that his son said, just buy anything from Amazon, put your address in it, and I'm going to send this instead. Which, if you've ever gotten something wrong from Amazon, is infuriating. Oh, that's how it happened. Oh, that's how it fucking happened. He puts the fucking... So, Ice Cube, they show it.
They show
like,
him.
look at me. Writers fucking fill the gaps in.
They show him placing an order on
We
Amazon.
know. Yes, we know.
I missed that part.
Yes, you did. You went to the bathroom and said, don't pause it.
Because it was so bad. I was like, I don't need to I can miss a bit.
And when you were at the bathroom, you must have heard me gasp. I practically shrieked because as writers, man, we filled those. We edit that. We don't fucking, but not Amazon, dude.
They're like product placement right in your face.
They placed an Amazon order in the fucking movie.
I also love how like a central theme in the entire movie was benevolent surveillance. That like everything is overly surveilled, but it's fine because it'll help you in a disaster. Don't worry. We have eyes on everywhere so we can make sure that we can get everything. You know what we can do? We can even commandeer this Tesla vehicle and get you in it to safety.
First of all, they name dropped Tesla.
They name dropped everything.
It was like an oligarchical commercial, like big oligarchical commercial.
I looked this up. So there's an explanation. I don't know if you remember in the mid 2000s, there was this a movie director. He went by Timur.
Oh, okay.
His Timur, I can't remember his last name. Here it is. Timur Bekmambetov. Anyway, he's a Russian director, and he made a lot of really awesome movies. He did Wanted. He did Night Watch and Day Watch. He did like the Ben-Hur remake. He did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. So he's like made a bunch of
that movie is a bad movie. Just so you know.
Of course it is.
No, that movie
he's
is
made
like
a lot of really, really fun,
hideous,
like horror action movies. Like
Good night. You keep doing this. Go ahead.
really love like what this guy did in that time period. Like Wanted is a really fun movie. Like you can't deny it.
Yeah, Wanted's a good.
But he definitely does like a lot of product placement in his movies, and I think that this is part of how he gets his funding. And so as a producer, that's just obviously like went completely overboard with this one.
Out of control.
So that's the explanation.
It's an absolute shit show. Ice Cube is so miscast. It's unbelievable.
How many tiny pineapples would you award it?
A half a tiny pineapple.
A half?
A half.
Are you
forced to give it a tiny pineapple? I give it 1/2.
1/2.
Yeah, and it's bruised and
pineapple
crushed.
Juice
and
everywhere.
Over fucking ripe and everything. Yeah. Stinky half.
But would you recommend it?
To anyone seeking, certainly for anybody who's like, like self-flagellators.
Sadomasochists.
Yeah, any kind of sadomasochists. Anybody who hates themselves and believes that or just like people who believe that they're supposed to sacrifice their life in pain and suffering. Yeah, absolutely.
How would you feel if somebody said that about a movie that you were involved in?
Well, it would depend on the movie, but if
it was this, you'd be like, I deserve it.
I would say 100% agree. I would have probably gone to court I would have probably gone to court and fought to change my name off that movie. Like, I made a fucking Christian movie, and I am not a Christian, especially an evangelical Christian. But I don't identify. I'm not religious in any way. I kind of have a grudge with religion, if truth be told, and I put my name on that. I would never put my name on, and I thought it was a shameful movie in the way in which it tried to sell us Amazon. What the fuck is wrong with you? So it was insulting in that way, and were it not for the fact that it had such a wonderfully bad reputation, I would have never given it the time of day. In the same way that I've tried to avoid stories like Denise Richards' divorce or Brooke Hogan's public grieving, because I just don't find them. Like, I think Denise Richards should be left alone, and I wish everyone would just leave her the fuck alone and let her deal with her messy divorce, like we who have privacy get to. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see anything productive going on or anything that the public really needs to be nosy about when it comes to Denise Richards, even if you liked her. You know what I mean? It's just an opinion, and if yours is different than mine, I'm not going to be upset about it, but that's how I feel about it. So, yeah.
But with this
movie's just the worst thing it shouldn't have been made.
An interesting thing is happening though, where people are watching it now because they want to see how bad it is.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a surprise success for them.
Like but it's not going to.
They made a dog shit film. It's
not like The Room though. Like, it's not going to be like something that's going to like make.
No, it's true. There's no lore behind it. There's no interesting story
because it's so drenched in corporate greed.
Yeah.
And like to know that like Ice Cube's down with that. Like, that guy has always been falling further and further and further and further. Yeah, I saw Ice Cube at Lollapalooza in 1992 or whatever that was, with the Chili Peppers, and probably the best lineup of them all, really. I mean, yeah, the first one was a really good lineup too, but dude, that lineup was sick. Anyway, I loved Ice Cube. I fell in love with them. When I moved to Los Angeles and I hooked up with these guys, like Leo, Toby, all those guys, we were busting out like not guilty, the filthy, the devil tried to kill me. Like, I used to just love it. And that guy is like, he's practically dead to me as an artist. It's just fucking unbelievable.
I mean, to his credit, he didn't do a good job. So at least he recognized that it wasn't calling for that.
Katie, I made a movie called Small Group. You can find it on Amazon, I think. I think it's like streaming on Amazon. Katie was asking what Christian movie I made. It's called Small Group. Oh, God. You know what was cool about that movie, though, is that I made that movie for $1 million. And we shot it in 20 days in 2 countries with a giant cast, meaning like we had like, it's like a small group.
Yeah.
Church group. So they're like a circle of people. It has to be a circle. And so you need a few people to make a circle. It was like 8 or 9 or whatever it was. A lot of people. Anyway.
I think that movie was a really great accomplishment, but I think it's also important. I feel like compelled to say every time you recommend or you name the movie like somebody's going to watch it, that you produced another person's movie. Like that you didn't write it, that it's not your artistry.
No, I didn't write it.
Your production skills that helped make this person's movie dreams come true.
Let me tell you how that happened. Actually, like the brief story behind it is that I got involved with the guy who said he wanted to produce my movie. And I was overwhelmingly grateful to him because I've wanted nothing more than to follow up Don's Plum. And the movie he was going to make was very dear to me, a movie called Never Say Goodbye that I had been working on for the better part of 2 decades, periodically, obviously. And it's just gone through so many different transformations. And it's going to be a book next. But I was just so emotionally and spiritually grateful to this guy that I was like, I want to help you. I said, I'm particularly good at developing writers. So if you're developing any other scripts right now, I'd be happy to have a look. And he said, well, what about a Christian movie? And I said to him, well, I'm not religious. I don't believe in any of that. But if your guy's cool with that, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
So he asked, and the guy
because you're like, a story's a story.
Story's a story. He was cool with it. The guy was cool with it. And so I spent better part of 18 months developing the script with the writer on as frequent a basis as the writer would provide. And, we developed a really emotionally powerful, impacting script.
It was so much more clear because I read the earlier drafts and then what you had crafted helped him craft by the end of it. And it was a lot more clear.
I taught him how to write more than anything.
He still hung on to a lot of the jokes that we were both trying to like get him to like let go.
Yeah.
I think that those didn't really end up playing really well.
So I was just proud of like being able to take such limited resources. And then we turned out a movie that, there's a Christian film festival down in Florida that is considered the largest Christian film or faith-based film festival in North America. And, they have Best Picture and we won it. So whatever.
That's a big deal.
I don't know why I'm bragging about that fucking movie, but I guess all I'm trying to say is that, careers aren't flawless. I tried to help a guy make a movie.
What do you mean you don't know why you're bragging about it? You made a sub $1 million movie with a first-time director, first-time screenwriter, and it won the festival that year. That's a huge accomplishment, bro. I think
the thing I'm most proud of is that I was able to develop him out of complete nothing.
Yeah.
The guy had never written, and the script he gave me was as our most first drafts. It was just filled with trouble. You know what I mean? It took 18 months to straighten it out. And which is fine. I mean, that's actually a really fast, it could have gone another few rounds, frankly. But I was just really proud because he wasn't a guy who had ever written a screenplay before, ever. So he was a first-time screenwriter. And then he wasn't going to direct. The producer that hired me the producer to whom I'd given this favor, he was going to take the movie out and try to attach a director. But as I got to know this guy, I was like, well, what I said to him was, I was like, why would you want to like go and bring in some director when you can make your own? Mm-hmm. And if you're successful, now you got a director. I said, what made Harvey Weinstein the big giant success that he was, that he is that he made directors. He turned them into successes. so that they would continue to direct for him. It's like, it's
really smart.
great strategy. It's a smart strategy. So I convinced him instead to develop a director and ramp a director up, which I thought was a really good idea.
Katie on TikTok is being so sweet.
Oh, thanks, Katie.
Said, love this. I'm not religious either. Awesome. A win is a win. And that's so amazing. You should be bragging about this.
Dude, you know what the coolest thing was? That we went to Guatemala and we shot in the, so the slums of Guatemala, I guess you call it, or whatever. It's called, they have zones. It was called Zone 18. So if you look up Guatemala Zone 18 on like YouTube, you'll get some pictures. But like, I'm telling you that like these people live on dirt floors with tin roofs that have, their homes are not sealed. It's wet in there. It's just, you would not believe the abject poverty that these people live in. It is the most frightening thing I'd ever seen in my life. I could not believe it existed. And I not only got to witness it, but I spent time in it. I spent time in their homes. I sat on the dirt floors. I had to step over the feces in their homes that's on the floor from their animals. That, it's fucking crazy, dude. In one house that we went into and spent time with them, they had it taped off because half of the house had fallen off into the cliff. And, or a portion of the house had fallen off and they just boarded it up and then put tape. It was just crazy. And then after all of that, and just being like, it's just like, I can't tell you how that like affects you. It really just changes your perspective when you get to see how really crazy it does get and how things in perspective, can change your outlook on life in general. But then after all that happened, we got through the shoot and I bonded with these people and I had so much fun, dude. Poor people are the coolest people. Let me tell you, like, I always think about this when I think about guys like Leo and I think about sometimes when I think about the things I missed out on after what they did, I also think about the things that I didn't miss out on. And what I didn't miss out on was the poor people who are just fucking awesome, dude. Like, they're awesome. There's so much color and beauty and humanity in them. There's so much incredible like struggle and love and just the spectrum of humanity that like exists, and the way in which they have to find their happiness, find their joy, the way they have to sort of almost narrow life down to the most important things that are intangible. It's touching, gripping stuff. I sat with an old man. He made me cry, Angela. I wept in his house.
It's so interesting because you're talking about like the difference between what you have access to when you're wealthy versus what you can't have access to.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like DiCaprio can't just like go and do shit like that.
That's what I was talking about. Like, that's where I was going. Where
so every
these
time
guys, they missed this.
Every time that I've ever heard about like some, super wealthy celebrity's kid or a wealthy celebrity themselves being depressed or something, like, I've never questioned how that happens, because you could be in this, like, you could have everything and still be so disconnected from those experiences.
Yeah.
Like, you can't genuinely know people. You can't genuinely like just easily go and explore and get in touch with people without your celebrity like making it a barrier, or your wealth making you exposed to some sort of like, horrible thing that might happen to you.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's understandable how these people are just like, they find themselves in these like gilded cages, and our dog is choking in her sleep. You okay, babe?
Yeah, really, it's profoundly amazing. Two more stories for you that I have. Donald Trump is trying to get rid of Fallon and Kimmel now. And here's the coolest part.
Oh, because it worked the first time, so he's just going to keep...
He thinks it works the first time, but then I like, look, Colbert, it's a problem, right? All that was a problem. I'm not denying that, but check this out, right? So CBS, right? They got this deal. It's an $8 billion deal, right? Trump wants a trade. He's got, everything's a scam to him, right? It's a grift. Everything's got, like, he's got to be in on it. So what's in it for me? So Paramount, and I don't care if they're saying they fucking complied with anti-bribery legislation. I think the writing is completely on the fucking wall here. I think that the thing that Donald Trump does is he sends signals, and then people respond to signals, and there's no paper trail. It's what Michael Cohen laid out for us very, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
So I forget all that nonsense about them denying, involvement. It happened. We saw it, right? And we were all disgusted by it. But then right after that, South Park breaks, right? The deal's done. It gets approved. $8 billion. Cha-ching. It's a wrap. And then out comes the South Park thing. Oh, I love it. Like, where was that timing? Well, let me tell you, studios time shit. They don't just fucking drop shit. They time shit. Well, it's been relentless. We got to start watching it. They just did another episode. I mean, it's just a relentless pummeling.
That's so great.
Pummeling of fucking Donald Trump. So I'm starting to be of the theory. I'm starting to lean toward the theory that this whole thing was like by design. They were like, we're going to get rid of that show because that show's a dud. And it's not that Colbert was a dud, but that show, tough to have the numbers, whatever. So they canceled the whole show. So that means that they were willing to create a sacrificial lamb out of it entirely. And a part of the way they were able to disguise the bribery was canceling the whole show. Mm-hmm. If we cancel the show, they can't say we fired Colbert because we canceled the fucking show. Easy peasy. Ain't nobody going to go to jail for that. No problem. But they were angry. They didn't want to give Trump that. They don't want Trump running their fucking studio. They came out with the most fucking and they got it's getting nothing but publicity because it's all on the back of a $1 billion deal that made these two fucking unlikely comedic writers, billionaires.
How do we watch it? It's on Paramount?
Paramount.
Okay, that's cool.
Everybody who cares about any of this shit should watch it. That is fucking genius in every possible way. So I don't think that Donald Trump is going to have any success because what Donald Trump had was leverage. That leverage, and as soon as that leverage was gone, now he's like the laughing stock of CBS. He's the laughing stock of fucking Paramount Plus. So I just think that's really interesting and fun. And I hope that, everyone who's even remotely curious will participate in this, the absolute fucking smashing of pie in the face of the president. I didn't
realize it was episodic. You can stream it on Paramount Plus the next day that they come out, but it's so that would be on Thursday. It premieres on Comedy Central Wednesdays at 10 p.m.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Eastern. Tune in. These fucking granddads sitting in their
seats. So it's just gonna be
like wait. We'll do it after we premiere it on the channel. Okay, that's what we do here.
It's just gonna be like a slow drip of antagonism against Trump.
Yeah. So the guy who took care of that guy who was like a really shitty guy who like denied people their insurance claims?
Yes.
You know that guy?
I do know. You're not allowed to talk about him,
shouldn't
though,
say
right?
his name or whatever, but he's like a guy, right?
Okay, and the guy
who's accused of taking care of a guy.
The guy who's accused
yes.
has nothing to do with it.
So they made a musical. You've heard about this.
Yeah.
They made a musical.
About an innocent person.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but it's obviously in support of Mario's brother.
I'm just so sick of people just keep assuming that he had something to do with it. Like he's some sort of martyr instead of like a totally innocent guy who had nothing to do with any of it.
It's so popular that they're on the verge of going on a national tour.
I am so distraught about this case being turned into fodder for entertainment. It really is one of the most disgusting revelations about our stage of society that this person whose life is on the line, who's being wrongfully accused and getting completely steamrolled by the government in a situation that there's no reason why he shouldn't even be, his name shouldn't even be known, much less detained for this long. And they're putting him, it's a capital punishment case. I can't believe that anybody is making entertainment out of this.
I think it's pro him.
It doesn't matter. Can everybody just focus?
But I think this was
on getting the guy released, and then he could be involved in making some of the money that all these people are making.
But I think that like there's people working on that. This is a different thing, and I think this is more about public awareness. I think this is about like the fact that they want to keep us quiet. We just avoided his name. I'm so sorry. Pardon me.
I think it's just.
I think this is a good thing. I think this exploitation is about, well, you can't stop art. Like it's one thing to try to.
I understand, but who does it help? Does it help him? Because that's who I would love to help.
Well, that's the idea, because it's the idea I assume here, and again, I haven't read the script. I don't know what's going on. They whipped it out in a minute, didn't they?
Yeah.
But and it's apparently absurd as hell. But I think the absurdity behind it is about, and I hope at least, I can hope, that it's. I know it's pro.
It just seems to me
Mario's brother.
Even though we're all on the same side, it feels like some people on our side are exploiting the misfortune of this other guy who's on our side. So I'm not down with it personally. There's a time for all of that, and that's after the guy has been exonerated and freed. Hopefully that's the outcome.
Well, that wasn't the reaction I was expecting, so I'm going to quit the show.
You're quitting? You're going to take your ball and go home?
I wanted an entirely different reaction, and the one you gave me is not the one I wanted, so I reject it, and to hell with it all. I just want to say a couple things before we go, please.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for your patience. I'm sorry that I didn't let you know that I wasn't, ready to go live with us yesterday, but coming back to you guys today has just been great, and I just really thank you because, it was just like there's a lot going on in our lives right now, and I know there's a lot going on in everyone's life, and so I just wanted to just say, make sure you're hugging the people around you, and pay attention to the love, even when we're being surrounded by all the madness.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember the love; it's all there. Sometimes it's easy to turn our heads from it, and you don't want to miss a minute of it. Love you guys. Thanks for
Have a
being
good
with us
weekend,
tonight.
everybody.
You have a great
You
weekend.
gonna be back on Monday?
We will see you on Monday, Angela.
New and improved.
With bells on. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys on Monday. Good night. Good night.
Good night, everybody.